In this episode of Radio Tenue de Nîmes, Menno has a conversation with Willem Bos, an avid collector of Vans and a specialist on everything Japanese. They talk about exactly these two things and review the new Vans Vault X Wacko Maria release.
Willem.
Menno.
Amazing to have you here.
Yeah, good to be here.
We're not gonna talk today in our mother's language. We're gonna launch an international collaboration.
Very international.
And you are very international. So we're here in the studio of Radio Tenue de Nîmes. And nobody knows yet what that is, but that will come later. That's a scoop. And I feel a little bit sort of uncertain because normally I would be here with my protege Thomas, but Thomas is not here today. So this is the second time in 1 week I have to do without Thomas. But big shout out to T and hope to have you here soon. Before we're going to talk about the subject of Vans and Japan and Wacko Maria, I would love to introduce you, of course, because maybe people don't really know who you are and what a vital role you play in the Tenue crew. Willem, if you allow me, I think you're one of the best friends that we had over the course of the last 13 years. You're the secret curator of anything Japan within the walls of our stores. I got to get a lot of credit for the curation with Japanese brands and the most sought after niche from Harajuku and other places in Tokyo. But in fact, it was never me. It was actually you, Willem, who said to me and to René back in the days, guys, Jesus, you're sleeping. Why don't you stock that brand? Go check it out. And whenever I would go to Tokyo, I would get like a huge list of you. New stores, new concepts, new records. Anything that we had to go and see in Tokyo. And we would always squeeze way too many things in 3 or 4 days in the capital. But to me, it's the capital of cool. And you're the true curator. Can you please explain where your fascination for Japan and Japanese fashion comes from?
Most definitely. Well, it comes from nothing. That might sound odd, but my dad took me to Japan, I think 14 years ago. And actually, my mother was supposed to go with him, but due to school holidays, and she's a teacher, the absence of a holiday, she's a teacher, she couldn't go with him, she couldn't accompany him. I went with him. I did basically the same as you did. So I drafted a list of places I wanted to go in Tokyo. And that was the first moment that I thought, okay, this is a city you can't compare to any other city in the world, because I drafted a list with shop A, shop B, shop C, shop D. And I thought it might be a little bit like when you go to Barcelona, New York, Copenhagen. And then I realized, okay, if you set foot in Tokyo with a Western written list of places you go to and you ask people, okay, I'm looking for Visvim, and people say, and they look at you, they do nothing, they start smiling, and you're completely lost. And then I thought, okay, this is cool. So what I was doing, I was just going there without any guidebook, traveling book map, and I just went to places and I looked into them and I went into stores and I thought, oh my God, this is so ridiculously cool. That's where it started, and then from there it went totally crazy, and I went back there every year alone. Or
but Tokyo is quite a huge city to just stumble and around, and
I had a lot of blisters.
And where did you start in Tokyo? Can you remember?
Yeah, I can remember. I started at Tokyo Central Station because my dad was hosting a conference over there. He is in nuclear insurance, so it doesn't have anything to do with fashion. So it started at Tokyo Central Station, and from there I was just browsing through that area, which is, back then it was not a really cool area. It's the area of Marunouchi. Right now it is developing into something quite cool, but back then it was quite dull. Then I took the subway to Omotesando, which is a very good area if you want to start exploring Harajuku, the Omotesando region, but also the Gaien-Mae and Sendagaya areas, which is, in my opinion, which are the coolest areas. And you can also walk from there to Nakameguro and Daikanyama, which are arguably the coolest places to go in Tokyo.
And afterwards you can chill out in Yoyogi Park, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's your favorite place because of all the vintage markets.
Yeah. Well, let's not take the stage right now and talk about Tokyo Vintage too much. We will get there for sure.
Yeah.
But hey, and about that first trip 14 years ago, it was kind of an accident that you were able to go.
Yeah.
Was it as influential to your dad as it was to you?
In terms of the wow, no, not really. My dad is more focused on Europe, and he doesn't really understand. He really likes and enjoys my passion about Japan and everything, but he's looking at me like, okay, I really don't understand what you're talking about, but I really love the passion you bring across. And he last time he mentioned it, Willem, I really enjoy you being so passionate about things because I don't have that.
And did your dad come with you the 14 years after?
Only one time, and it was also due to work, which is good for me because he can pay for the flights and the hotel and the food.
Hey, Dad, do you want to go?
Yeah. Every year I ask him, can you host another conference? No, not possible. And yeah, so that's how it worked out.
Hey, and I meant not to talk about the year behind us, and I'm not gonna, but let's just say it was a year without traveling.
Yeah.
How did you survive, man?
I survived really well. That is also because I became a father of a daughter. So that also prevented me from traveling, let's say, internationally. And it also offered me, it gave me the opportunity to sit back and relax and think about all the things I have. And that was, for me, it was mind-blowing because I realized I really love and like traveling, but not to the extent I thought I was enjoying it. So I will reduce the amount of traveling even post-COVID.
Okay, but now just between you and me.
Yeah.
Get rid of all the bullshit. When do you go?
A good question. I think I will go in the end of this year. And then I will leave my daughter with my parents, and then I will go with my wife to Tokyo.
Awesome. First time for her, or
no, third time.
Awesome.
We know each other for 3 years, and I took her to Tokyo 2 times because I wanted to influence her as well.
Picture yourself in Tokyo.
Yeah.
First stop.
Koko Ichibanya curry, Japanese curry. Even if I start talking about it now, I think, oh my God, if I close my eyes, I can imagine myself sitting there at the counter.
Fantastic. And can you remember the first time you sent me to Harajuku and to all the stops that you put on an amazing list?
Yeah, absolutely. I wrote you an email I've sent to many Tenue de Nîmes crew members. And it was, I think 40, 50 places and categorized in terms of how important they were. And I think you used it as a map for your exploration.
Yeah, and this is why I truly have to admit that you are somehow the Japan curator for Tenue de Nîmes, because most of the trips that we took there were accompanied by a beautiful Willem list, as I like to refer to it. And you always gave me a little bit the feeling that I was sort of not really well informed, so to say. It was like, fuck, where did you find these brands? And you would like tell me, how can you not know about these guys? And this is also, I remember the first time that I went to one of the brands that are subject of today's talk, Wacko Maria. And I remember you said to me, promise me that you go there and no matter what part of the list you will ignore, you have to go to Wacko Maria.
Absolutely.
And can you explain why I had to?
Yeah, this is something Wacko Maria I'm so ridiculously passionate about, because for me it perfectly epitomizes what Japanese brands are all about, because it's a complete juxtaposition of influences. Because at the left side of the store you have Hawaii bowling shirts with crazy prints, and on the right side you have really smart Loro Piana wool suits. And that's exactly what I really enjoy about Japanese brands. They don't stick to one rule or one design rule. They mix everything into a crazy cocktail, and they all do it with a production process that is so amazing. And that's why I said to you, go to Wacko Maria, and then further, the store, it houses a little espresso boutique. And in the back, and you also see the vinyl records on the shoebox, they have this crazy installation with Macintosh amplifiers, playing reggae music, playing funk. So it's also taking cues and influences from all kinds of forms of art, which I really enjoy.
What's the metro station again that we have to? Is it Nakameguro?
Yeah.
I found a picture the other day from the moment that I stepped out of the metro at Nakameguro, and because one of my I'm going to talk vintage again. One of my most beloved vintage stores in Tokyo is actually very close to the metro station of Nakameguro. It's called Six.
Yeah,
and it's on one of the second floors of a big building. So this is one of the lessons that you, Willem, learned me, that if you go shopping in Japan, you always have to look up. And I was like, you have to look up? What are you talking about? Because most of the coolest shops are not on ground floor, but on the first, second, or third floor.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because the rents are simply unaffordable.
Yeah.
And they host their stores on other floors that we are used to. And one of the great examples is also the Six Vintage. And I passed the store, I think, 3 to 4 times before I realized it was somewhere up. And then I was on my way to Wacko Maria, and I literally, I sort of felt that I was entering this tribe or whatever. Do you agree that when you enter a tribe like that, you might not feel very welcome immediately?
Absolutely. I think it has 2 explanations. It's like every tribe. They are in the beginning they're hesitant. You have some kind of building up period. They have to accept you, but also still many Japanese people are not that good in English. So they're also feeling a bit sorry that they can't communicate properly with you. And as soon as you let the clothing and style communicate, then they open up, and then they realize, okay, this guy is really into this stuff, and he doesn't care about language, he cares about stuff like this, and that connects you.
And was it because to me, when I entered there, it's this almost this funny paradox between like, am I welcome here, and I want to belong here, if that makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I have had so many experiences. Also, when I visited Tokyo with my wife, you enter a coffee store, nobody is looking up, they're not helping you, they're not serving you anything, and they just wait until you go again, because Japanese people don't like to tell you fuck off. They just don't pay attention to you. That's their way of saying, okay, I think you should go. And I've had that for many times. Yeah.
Hey, and before we get to talk about your other love child, Vans, because that's, I think, the first brand you and I spoke about. And another scoop today is that our first collaboration with Vans is 80% from the hand of Willem, which means that he co-designed the collaboration shoe. Maybe needless to ask, but I'm going to do it anyway. How happy were you when you realized that Vans and Wacko Maria would be collaborating?
The sentence "dream come true" couldn't have been more right. This was something that I've always dreamt of. Even when I was in secondary school, I thought, I would like to design a Vans shoe. And then suddenly I was in the middle of it. Yeah, I have it displayed in this box in my living room, and I'm looking at it every day.
Hey, but what I actually meant to ask is, what did you think when Vans and Wacko Maria?
Apologies.
No worries. I know I want to talk about vintage. You want to talk about the Tenue de Nîmes collaboration. Yeah. But, we have rules. Before we enter this
obey
table,
the
we
rules.
had
Obey the rules. Obey the rules.
We will get there.
Yeah. Okay. That's something, another dream come true, because I really like, I honestly like the mixing up of the Californian skater vibe with the crazy, esoteric, idiosyncratic philosophy of Wacko Maria, and they succeed in the first collaboration. They succeeded, and now with this slip-on, it even gets better. I will tell you later in this podcast about where I use them for, because it's something that not many people will use it for.
That's I look forward to that one. Hey,
it's not dirty.
What a shame. Willem, but before we get to talk and deep dive into real product, the other side of the love story today is besides Japan is the Vans brand.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what Vans mean to you in your sort of daily obsession with fashion and anything related to it?
Yeah, freedom. It's again, it's, you feel the Californian vibe, and I saw we've been browsing through books about early Californian skater cultures. It's all about freedom, but it's also about equality. Everyone wears Vans, from supermodels to homeless guys, and everything in between. Another thing is that it simply goes with anything. Kendrick Lamar wore Vans under a suit. I wear Vans when I'm working in the garden, when I'm going to work. And you can even live for a whole year, perform as many roles as you are, and only use one shoe, which is one pair of Vans. And that's exactly what the brand is about, in my opinion.
But this is super interesting, because to me, I'm absolutely obsessed with let's say the simpleness of Vans. Yep. And they became like a vital part of my daily wardrobe, together with the pair of blue jeans and a white t-shirt. It's like, if you have that, what is left to think about, right?
Exactly.
However, it's also a brand that steps out of the basic zone, so to say, and surfs the wave of creative expression, and connects with sports, connects with music, connects with fashion, and therefore also becomes sort of a blank canvas for even more creativity. And why do you feel that this specific collaboration is so special?
Good question. Referring to what you just mentioned, the Vans takes cues from all kinds of other sources of inspiration. It can be sports, it can be art, like the MoMA collaborations, for instance, and now it collaborates with Wacko Maria, completely infused with rock influences, this very hard to grasp, crazy Japanese style, and it also has some kind of dark layer over it. If you visit Tokyo, imagine that you are going to vintage stores and then you go out at night, and there are so many bars that you can't compare with any bar in anywhere else in the world. It's dark, it's a bit dodgy, but still it's cool, and that's what you can easily wear this shoe to these kind of bars and be the coolest guy around.
But it's quite funny because I was told that within the Vans community, they were especially in the beginning embraced by misfits, the guys that weren't surfing but started skate and let's say punk tribes that weren't like accepted anywhere, and Vans said, "Yeah, come along." And so this sort of almost like a group of people that never really belongs anywhere was the start of the brand, so to say.
All the miscellaneous people gathered and formed the root of Vans. Yeah.
So in that sense, this Wacko Maria Vans collaboration is definitely something that is maybe also very much related to the start of the Vans brand, if I'm not mistaken.
I haven't even thought about that, but you're completely right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's to me it's quite top of mind because I had the pleasure.
Prepared this properly.
I prepared first of all. Yes, you would not expect it. And I had the pleasure last week to speak to Mr. Doug Palladini, the current president of Vans, in this same setting, and we spoke about the paradox between becoming a $4 billion brand and the origin of the Misfits and California and skate, and how you preserve that same brand DNA within such a huge company. Yeah. And what also always inspires me is that you said homeless people and what was the other metaphor? Supermodels. Let's go. But it's both dads and their young sons or daughters and mothers. They all have their Vans, right?
Yeah.
And so to me, it's always in the basicness of the shoe, and it's also a storyteller. And this particular story is really, to me, very fascinating, because what people might not realize is that, for instance, the records on the shoes have quite a strong meaning where it comes to the love of music in Tokyo, and also for, in particular, Wacko Maria. Can you explain a little bit about that?
You mean about how music culture is...
Well, if you look at the box, and later on we will absolutely have the enjoyment of checking out the shoes, you see that the records on there, they personify the love for music, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, also by the founders of Wacko Maria, because I've read a lot about the founders, and it touches all kinds of interests I'm totally crazy about. Let's start with, they're both former professional football players for J League, for the Japanese league, and they realized, okay, when I'm 35, 40 years old, I will retire as a football player, and I need something else, of course, as a source of income, but also to have something to do. They started a nightclub because they are totally crazy about music. There, this nightclub started to become, and there I see a similarity between the nightclub and Tenue de Nîmes. It also gathers a group of people, which becomes a subculture. And from this nightclub, they started realizing, okay, when we are 50, we might not be able to spend the nights until 5 a.m. in a nightclub, so we should open up a clothing brand.
They needed a new career again.
And what happened, because if you go there and you are into music, not only into music and vinyl, but also in technical terms of music, there are amplified, the installation of this music installation, it costs almost €1 million. This is something that sound engineers will go crazy upon. And there is a guy in the back of the store that is constantly playing these records, and it's almost like you're in a film set. I always tell people, if you go to Tokyo, you're not going to museums. You just walk around, browse, and let it come, and it's always amazing.
Hey, and I'm gonna keep the box closed. Sorry for at least a few more minutes, because before we're gonna check out what Vans and Wacko Maria did together, I would love to see your favorite Vans first, because I think that beautiful. Oh, what is it? Is it plastic box?
It's a transparent box. It's a birthday gift for my sister. And when I asked her to give me this present, she said, "Honestly, are you real? You're turning 30. It's a present you would give to." Yeah, I'm completely. But now she's used to it. But it's a transparent shoebox, and I'm displaying my favorite pairs. Let's start with this yellow version, because it's a collaboration with Vans and the Italian shoe brand DMA, and the Vans are also made in Italy.
Oh, that's awesome!
And you see the craftsmanship. The leather is very buttery, but it's also the last. It's built on a real DMA last, and yeah, it's really beautiful.
They look unworn.
They are unworn because I don't want to wear them. It's wear don't tear. It's something stupid, but it is cool.
But help me understand this. Why would you not wear this?
Because I would like to wear them, but I don't want to throw them away. And we are different. You like torn apart jeans and shoes. I don't like that. I'm not a vintage buyer. Look over there. I'm not a vintage buyer. So every time I'm putting them on, I think, oh my God, the first stain will completely make me crazy. And then I think, okay, I box it again and maybe wait for another moment.
And then what? You unbox them every now and then, and you...
I unbox them very occasionally, and I look at them. Like, for me, this is a piece of art. It has so many hidden features, like the Italian flag on the heel.
Yeah, and I see this beautiful rough side of the leather heel tab.
It's a fantastic mix between Italian craftsmanship and Californian skater vibe. So yeah, that's
awesome.
Yeah, it's just
but I do feel that you need to show the world these, man.
Yeah.
They would look lovely with some nice blue jeans.
Yeah, might be a good business model. Might be a good business model. And then, this is something I'm very, very proud of. It's the shoe we designed. I've always dreamt of a shoe with a transparent sole, with the logo of the city we are living in. Printed on the sole.
And it's not Tokyo, guys. It's Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, yeah. I would love to move to Tokyo, but I will always return to Amsterdam because it's the second coolest city in the world. And the canvas, it ages beautifully. I have one pair to rock, one pair to stock. Here I did the right thing compared. I've learned my lesson from the DMA, so I immediately purchased 2 pairs. Yeah, and it's something I will show my grandchildren this pair of, and I even believe that let's say in about 30 years, I will show my grandchildren this shoe, and I'll tell Granddad designed this together with Granddad Menno.
Menno, tell us the story.
Yeah, and then the third.
Sorry, I have to interrupt you here, because I know when you start to talk about Van shoes.
Apologies.
You get into a certain pace, and I want to keep up here. Can you call that an era? Is that the era, the DM, or is that?
Yeah, the DMA is an era, and you see this because of the thicker layer here. So it's the authentic and the layer. They are basically the same shoe.
The authentic, just as a small FYI, was the first Van shoe they ever made. Article number 44, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. That's the shoe that started the Vans brand. And can I already ask if one of those two, style-wise, is your favorite, or is that?
We'll come to that later.
Right.
Because in my opinion, this is the most versatile shoe. And then I told you already, I'm using slip-on Vans for something that you might not expect. Someone uses it for, because I use it for cycling. Because I don't like these cycling shoes where you have to click into this, because I'm always afraid I can't go out when I'm falling or something. So I thought, why not wear this shoe? Because it's ridiculously versatile. You can literally slip into it. You can wear it on the bike, But if you cycle to the office or to the beach, you can also wear it with the sweatpants or with the swimming trunks. So that's very great. And no, this is the third shoe the third pair of Vans I'm totally crazy about. It's also a collaboration with a Japanese brand.
Tell us.
Bought it in Tokyo, queued up for it. I hate queues, but for this shoe I queued. It's a collaboration with Softnet, one of my favorite Japanese brands. And very cool fact, noteworthy, is that Japan is the only country that allows Vans, or Vans is the only Japan that allows the design of the Vans with some other nods, so they don't have to stick to the global rules of design.
But that's also because I believe it's the only country in the world that is not connected to the mother company.
Correct. There is a shop which I really recommend in Tokyo, which is called Billy's. Billy's is the house of Vans in Japan. They are always having the the final. How do you say? They will judge whether or not a Vans is allowed to go on the market. And look at, for instance, they are not allowed. They are allowed to change the heel tab. So here they have the checkerboard heel tab,
awesome.
which I really like. And this is a shoe I've been wearing for so many times, and it has this crazy pony hair upper.
Is it indigo pony hair?
Yeah, it's indigo pony hair.
My goodness.
pony hair. Yeah, it's fantastic.
And is the heel, is that just age, or was what happened there? Is that the cycling?
It's just me slipping in and out of the shoe. Yeah.
So besides cycling, the slip-on is definitely one of your favorite silhouettes in Vans.
Yes.
And you said they're so versatile. Is this also something you wear underneath a suit, or like a business-related meeting?
Yeah, absolutely. And you also have smarter versions. This is not a very smart version of the slip-on, but if you wear the OG navy slip-on with a pair of smart socks and a chino, for instance, then this turns out to be quite a... Yeah, of course, not if you're in insurance or banking, but we're not in insurance or banking.
So your dad didn't wear these when he was hosting the conference?
He was wearing the yellow version.
That's fucking awesome.
No. He's totally not into Vans, but something really cool.
You're into it. You're into it for the whole family, right?
Absolutely.
Hey,
enough.
And I would love to jump onto the Wacko Maria collaboration. This is the first color. Would you mind
oh my god,
unboxing and giving the expert opinion? Easy, yeah, Willem, easy. It's all for you.
It's like Sinterklaas. Dutch people will this is amazing. It starts with the original's execution, which is always good with the higher foxing.
Yeah, because this is part of course, of the Vans Fold collection, where indeed the all the aspects of the shoe really refer to the old foxing, and the insole has some proper cushioning, like in the 70s. It's like it's very gummy. It's a lot easier to wear, I guess. It's
you can leave me here now for 15 minutes and I will
Yeah, but come on, talk it out.
Well, the cool here again, it's very versatile. You can wear it with a pair of jeans. You can pair it with wear it with shorts, with swimming trunks. I really enjoy the foxing. I really enjoy the prints, and I'm always into details, but I also love the Wacko Maria inside. And this is one for the summer, man.
Yeah, right. And
it's crazy.
Isn't this because the first time I saw the records and the design the guys made for this particular release, I sort of felt back in the store of Wacko Maria, like surrounded by all those vinyl gems, and because we also brought the second color here, which I feel is even more Californian heritage than the first one.
Yeah, it's like Mr. Van Doren designed it himself. Yeah, fantastic. The purple is really, really good. The canvas is really it's sturdy. And what sometimes I buy, I'm only buying originals from Vans, and that's because they are more exclusive, what I really enjoy, but also because the quality is just way, way better. And yeah, well, I fully advocate that you only stock the originals because it's much more value for money.
Yeah, and don't you agree that if you look at the simplicity of the shoe, it's quite extraordinary that you add a different color and you add records, and all of a sudden you're looking at a completely different shoe.
Yeah.
So is the metaphor of these shoes being a blank canvas, which eventually is about creative expression, also allows us to make something completely different while it's so close to the original? I think that's quite mind-blowing.
Literally, it was a black canvas. You add a design. You add also add the ID, the feeling of being part of something. And with wearing a pair of Vans like this, you also say, I really enjoy Japan, and I really enjoy records, and I'm part of this crazy movement. Yeah, that's I fully agree with you.
And and do you feel that if fans collaborate with these kind of brands, do you feel that we need more of this? Because I think that they also will release bowling shirts, the magic bowling shirts, who are not delivered yet. So there's no scoop here, but I think that's a quite obvious but also amazing add-on to this release, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the film The Big Lebowski, you probably know, and that's all about guys like this, walking around, chilling out, and the whole feeling of Wacko Maria with the bowling shirts and the vinyl records, that brings you back to Tokyo, night clubbing, walking around, eating, having all these influences you were not aware of they even existed.
So basically, acquiring one of those pairs is like the first step to entering the Tokyo dream.
Saves you a plane ticket and a hotel.
Yeah, but your dad covers that. So
no, but it's the first step in understanding how crazy Japan is and how dedicated and devoted they are to a design process.
But isn't it also because I was cycling here and I thought, where does my love and fascination for Japan come from? And I actually concluded that most of it is also rooted in the States, because I believe a lot of the inspiration from the brands we all love, Visvim and let's say Wacko Maria, Snow Peak. It's all like sort of rooted either in outerwear or in performance or in jeans or in denim or music. It's all somehow related to anything American.
I think it's 100% American. We've both read the book Amatora, how Japan saved American style. What the Japanese are very good at is they improve something that is already very good to something extraordinary. That's what Visvim does with Americana. That's what And Wonder does, the pants I'm wearing with outerwear. That's what Wacko Maria do with grungy Americana style. And that's what they also do with the best pizza you will eat in Tokyo. The best hamburger you will eat in Tokyo. That's just because they are totally crazy about continuously improving something that others already find perfect, but they won't stop. And then you get things like these.
But it's quite fascinating that, and that maybe also says something about the brilliance of Vans as a brand, that although Orslo makes better cargo pants than the US Army ever did, and Visvim makes better indigo dyed sweaters than Harvard gave to their students in any era.
Yeah.
Nobody touched these shoes.
No.
So is this an example of it's better? You need to dance with the devil if you can't defeat it.
I think there are some things you simply don't touch. And we're both sports fans, and you know that we have one hero in the Netherlands who is Johan Cruyff. Nobody would ever dare to say, I'm as good as Cruyff. You simply don't go there. And I think Vans is Cruyff. So the Japanese
embrace it,
and also love it because they love Americana. They love Californian skate vibes, surf vibes, but they won't start improving it. They just embrace it.
They will never put number 14 on the back of their jerseys.
No, they shouldn't.
But that's quite fascinating to me because Vans made a book because of their 50th anniversary, and it was published by Doc Palladini, who has a history as a journalist.
Yeah.
He's now the president of the company, and he writes about the simplicity of the brand, and he writes about it's almost so pure and simple that that's also something you can't really touch anymore. It's there, and again, I think it's super fascinating that anything Americana in Japan is made into sort of a better version of itself. And Vans, after all, remains to be the brand that everybody embraces and walks around with, literally speaking.
And it's also really cool that nothing really has changed. So the shoe, the silhouette is still the same as 40 years ago. The only thing that changes is that they have other people interpreting the shoe. So now it's Wacko Maria. In 10 years, it's another brand or a musician. And they are always on top, and they're always collaborating with people who are thought leaders at that moment. So they're always relevant, and you feel that. And that's something I really admire in the brand.
I think there's no better way to wrap up this conversation, brother. Thank you so much. When I was asked to talk about this collaboration, I could only invite one person because you are absolutely the one who injected me with the Tokyo virus and injected me with the Vans virus. Very important. So thanks a million, brother. And I hope that we get to design the second collaboration of our Tenue de Nîmes X Vans shoe very soon.
Amen.
But first, we're going to enjoy this Vans Wacko Maria release because
fantastic.
We're over the moon, aren't we?
Yeah, this is. I know where I will be walking around during summer.
Awesome. Speak soon, Willem. Thank you so much.
Take care, Menno.
This was the studio of Radio Tenue de Nîmes, and we love to see you and hear you in the next episode.